Hello, if you're watching this, you probably have purchased some of our plants and you might have some questions about potting them or repotting them or planting them outside and all that stuff. So I'll just start right off. So this is some of the stuff that we've got going on. We got a lot of basil, habanero peppers. Some of these we're gonna plant. I got them at Walmart on sale, the knockout roses, and they're just really cheap. And then the lantanas. But everything else we grow from seed, and I usually get a organic seed. There's Horizon Medicinal, and then there's oh god, I gotta think of the other one that we get the other seeds from. And we always start them out in small trays and usually get potted up into something like this. And as you see, this guy's a little bit wet, so we had some rain the other day and they got soaked, and now I got them back outside. They're just gonna dry out. And then all of these are lemon and orange trees. I got probably 100 of them. They're going, they're just doing the best they can. And then around the corner over there I got a bunch more tomato plants. So they start from seed, they grow in the trays. They're, you can't really see in my garage, but I got grow lights and everything in there. It's all a big mess. I apologize, going through a bunch of stuff, trying to find tents for the kids. And then we're just gonna go right to the back of the truck here. And this is an example of generally what they come in. A small 2-inch pot like this, and they're super soaked, they're wet, they need to be potted up. And so I'm gonna get to that today, and I'm gonna do this right here. They're all gonna go in just either a bigger pot, or if they're big enough, they'll go into a 1/2 gallon. And it depends upon how long they stay, because you gotta keep potting them up. Otherwise the roots get bound up, and it's not a good thing for them. And they'll, like some of my basil plants, they just won't do so well. So most of those basil plants today will end up in the ground, and then we're just gonna grow a ton of purple basil around here, because you know, if they don't look good, no one wants to buy them. And one of the questions I get is, I had a lady say something like, "Oh my God, you're mixing your dirt. That's horrible." You know, as in if I was buying, you know, organic soil and mixing it with soil from my yard, you know, which is local soil, as if that was just being cheap. Well, the reality is, you're putting your plants in this soil, and a lot of everything around here in Florida, there's a lot of sand. And if you mix sand in with your soil, not only does it give it the local nutrients for where you're going to be, but it gives the plant a head start, because you can't just put a plant in potting soil, because it's in this beautiful, rich, organic soil. And as the roots reach out, they hit that sand like, ooh, I don't want that. I mean, well, it depends. I might have a lot of, there's one of my lone ducks right there. So every day, that guy, little girl, wanders around looking for everybody, and she usually gets lost, and she'll run all the way around and go back to where the rest of the other ducks are. She'll hang out over there. So just something interesting to have happen. Anyways, so I mix in local soil. I pick different spots of the yard, you know, where I can take dirt, and I put it in here, and it's usually a 50-50 mix. And you'll see there's, you know, you'll get little clumps of sand, and you get clay. Sometimes it's red, sometimes it's brown. Sometimes, if we're really lucky, it could actually be dark sand. It could be real nice dark, looks like it's actually fertile, and it's good sand or soil. If you look out there, there's a lot of green. So I know I have relatively good soil. So I have no problem taking the soil that I have here and mixing it with this potting soil. There's all kinds of theories about it, but it works for me. It does well. I don't spray anything. I don't have to use a lot of fertilizer. My fertilizer is, you can't really see those guys, but there's ducks and chickens and geese over there, and they poop in these pools, and then I dump out the pools, and that's about enough fertilizer for me right now. So anyways, if you get one of these plants, now this is really wet, so it's a kind of a bad example. So here's just a small 2-inch pot. That's where they usually start, because half the time, I mean, this is really good. You see all these pots are growing. Not all of them made it, but they all made it in this tray. And usually if you get 50% rate, that's really good. So this is wet, so it's not gonna come out completely. So I'm just gonna pull the whole thing out, and see that? There's the roots. They're real close to the edge. They're growing down. You see how wet that soil is? That is absolutely a no-go. You don't want that to happen. See that? That's just wet. You can wring that out. That's not good. You don't want that to happen. So to protect that, if you do use trays, you get trays with the holes, and you get trays without the holes. You put the tray with the hole inside the tray without the hole, so that way if it don't get rain for a while, and as you spray, some water stays inside and it gets soaked back up in. But when it does rain, you pull it out, so that way you have 2 trays. One without the holes just goes away. You just put it inside the garage and wait for it to be dry again. And then you take this plant and you just put it into another pot with dirt. or you can put it right in the ground. You know, I'm gonna go into these ones here because they fit really nice. I get like 18 of them in here, and then I get 50 of these in there in this 10-20 trays, and then I only get 6 half-gallons in there. But it's a good way of doing it. It works well for me. And then if they don't sell after a certain period of time, they all go on the ground, and then we eat tomatoes here. And well, that's about it. If you have any questions on tomato plants, just email me, get a hold of me. I can talk to you about it. Tomato, basil, any of the medicinal herbs we have, any of the culinary herbs we have, any of the plants we've got, the flowers, the wildflowers, anything, just let me know. I can walk you through step by step on how best to take care of them. If you're going to use fertilizer, if you're not going to use fertilizer, where to put them in the sun, full sun, part shade, all that good stuff. So, all right, this is Ames Wholesome Farms. Take care. You guys have a wonderful day.